winter nights, you want a meal that's going to stick to your bones and give you a lot of flavor and a lot of comfort. This is one of those foods. Today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make a traditional Cape Malay tomato bredie. This is an amazing beef stew made with tomatoes. Now traditionally it is actually made with mutton, but mutton can be really pricey and hard to source here in Canada. So I made this with beef. For this recipe you're going to need some vegetable oil, and I'm using about 3 tablespoons, 1 large onion peeled and sliced, a half a teaspoon of ground cloves, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 cinnamon stick, roughly a pound of stewing beef, or if you can find it, mutton, and you can use that on the bone too, 1 large can of diced tomatoes, 1 to 2 cups of water, and I'm using mine with a beef stock cube, 2 to 3 medium potatoes which are diced, and a teaspoon of sugar. And really it's quite a simple recipe, but the nice thing is there's a great depth of flavor. You're going to start off in a pot, just putting in your oil and letting that heat up. And once that oil is nice and warm, we're going to pop in our onion. We're going to fry those on quite a high heat until they just start to brown. And now that our onions are kind of soft and just starting to brown, we're going to add in our beef. And just let that start to brown for just a few minutes. And when our beef is just sort of starting to brown like that, we're going to put in our cloves, our ground black pepper, and our chili flakes. Now you can add more chili flakes if you like a little bit more heat, or you can reduce the amount if you don't like more heat. I'm also going to be adding in a little bit of extra salt here, just to bring out those flavors a little more. And we're going to give that a good stir. And we're going to add in our cinnamon sticks. Now remember, we've talked about this before, where the oil will get sucked up a little bit by some of those spices. That's okay, because we're about to add in all of our liquids. So I'm actually going to start with putting our potatoes in, stirring those in a little. You can already smell that wonderful aroma of a little bit of cinnamon, but definitely the cloves in there. And now we're going to add in our tomatoes with all of their juices and give that a really good stir. And then we're going to add in all of our beef stock. And I'm using about 2 cups here. This is 2 cups of water with a beef stock cube. Give that a good stir. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. And finally, our teaspoon of sugar, which is going to just add a very, very slight hint of sweetness to this, but really is going to help that flavor come out. And we're going to let that come to a boil and then cover it up and leave it to simmer on a lower heat for approximately an hour. Now, if you are using mutton in this, which is traditionally what this dish is served with, the nice thing is it renders quite a lot of fat, so you may not need to use as much vegetable oil. The important thing here is you cannot rush this dish. It tastes really good, but those flavors need to permeate, so you can actually make this the day ahead. And while we leave that stewing, we're going to prepare some rice for this as a base, and you can use either a white rice or traditionally a South African yellow rice. Now I'm serving this dish on a yellow rice, and I'll give you that recipe link at the end of this video. But the smell is absolutely incredible. There is a hint of cinnamon in the air. but you can really smell that tomato in there, and I really am quite excited for this. I'm going to grab a little bit of everything here if I can. Now the wonderful thing about this dish is you can add so much flavor to it. You can make this very spicy if you want by adding in more chili flakes or more pepper. But that's just perfect. That's just the perfect combination of flavor and this very subtle hint of spice at the end. This is amazing. You have to try this. And if you do, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section how it turned out for you and what you did to make it unique to you. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and remember to turn on notifications so that you know when my next video drops. Remember too that you can follow me on all of my social media, and those links are below in the comment section as well. If you would like some more of my South African recipes, you can click on this playlist right here. And if you'd like my recipe for the yellow rice that I served this on, you can get that recipe right here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy eating.